welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weaves here, and this is a new kind of what if part. Not part, because it will be the only part of this what if, because this is a movie what if. Yes, I actually got the spark from having a shower after reading some fanfics. I actually thought, hey, what if Sasuke had a sister, and what if Naruto got betrayed? I mean, some of you did ask for that what if on stream. So I'm like, yeah, I want to do it, but I don't know how. But now I realize, yeah, there we go. I got the perfect idea, but then we needed someone to, I needed someone else, which took me, well, we needed a different character, which took me a while to think of. But then I'm like, hey, what if Sasuke had a sister as well? Yeah. What if they were like twin brothers and sisters, non-identical twins? Yeah. So I'm like, hey, this is a mad idea, yeah. So I'm like, but I already have so many series and I don't want to do another one. But then I'm like, I could just make it into a movie, finish in one day. And this, you could call this the 3,000 subscriber special 2. Yes, I know I hit 3,000 subscribers like 2-3 days ago. In fact, I'm on 3.1k now, which is amazing. Thank you so much. And I haven't uploaded yesterday because I was meant to take a break for 2 days, but it's just that he hit me. He just hit me so hard today. It was like a bat. It was like a baseball bat just hitting my face with an idea. Yeah. So we start this what if with as normal, of course. So Sasuke. We'll start from the first day of the academy. So Naruto walks in and gets a lot of looks. Yes, a ton of looks. And yeah, so Naruto didn't really know what to say to that, but just to look down. Only 3 people really didn't look at him. Even Hinata looked at him in a weird way, because Naruto never saved Hinata this time. It was actually Lee. Yes, so Naruto never really did that to Hinata. So Hinata really didn't only followed what her father told her. And yeah, so Naruto walks in and sees pretty much everyone glaring at him. Even Sasuke looked back, glares at him, and then CBA. So Naruto doesn't know where to sit, since there were two guys that weren't looking at him in a weird way, and they were sitting next to each other in the middle of the table, which was full. And Naruto's like, oh. And those were Shikamaru and Choji, because Naruto actually, they didn't hate Naruto. They knew that Naruto didn't deserve this, and they're like, whatever. So, and then he sees an empty seat next to a girl, and he goes sit next to her, and the girl wasn't really staring at him or anything, but when he did ask, can he sit here, the girls that looked back and smiled at him and says, yeah, sure. And the girl was called Tsuki. Yes, Tsuki Uchiha, and she is Sasuke's sister. Yes, Sasuke has an older brother and a sister that was born after him. Even though she's older than Naruto by a month, I'm pretty sure. I really don't want to make Tsuki the twin sister. I feel like, yeah, whatever. I can't. I have to. It wouldn't make sense for her to be born 2 months after Sasuke. How does that make sense? Anyway, so Tsuki says, hello, what's your name? And Naruto greets her saying, oh, hello, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. What's yours? And Tsuki replies by saying, oh, my name is Tsuki Uchiha, and I'm that kid's brother. And yes, Tsuki is a bit older than Sasuke, so Sasuke has to respect her, because why not? And Naruto's like, oh, him, oh, okay. And Naruto here really doesn't know what to say, since really everyone was Naruto was hated even more here, because why the hell not? And yeah, so Naruto was hated even more, and some kids actually knew why he was hated. That Sakura knew. Sakura's parents actually told her, because they didn't want Sakura to even talk to him, because he is the reason why the the Hokage had to die, because they know the Hokage used the sealing formula to seal the 9 toes inside of Naruto, and they don't know that Naruto is actually his son. So he was more than willing. He's like, ah, yeah, sure, I'll give my life up for him. They didn't know that, but of course they wouldn't. It was an S rank secret that no one could tell anyone that Naruto was the fourth son. And he's like, oh yeah, and Naruto is really awkward around everyone because he's never really talked to anyone except for the third Hokage. But the third Hokage was an old man, and Naruto actually respected him because he's not actually the only one right now. Because Iruka comes in the second year, I'm pretty sure, when Naruto is in the second year of the academy, while and the only person that actually was okay with Naruto before that was the third Hokage, because Shikaku, Ino's dad, and I think it was Choji. I don't want to butcher any names. Choji's dad. They didn't really hate Naruto, but Naruto never really talked to them either, so they didn't want to interfere with his life. They let him be. So Naruto actually then just stays quiet for a while until the teacher walks in, and the teacher does the register, yeah. So he calls out everyone's name, and Naruto's lost because even though it's meant to be alphabetical order, Tsuki comes after Naruto. The T comes after N in the alphabet, but Tsuki was called before Naruto, and Naruto then was called. And just saying, Kiba was replaced by Tsuki. Yes, Kiba's born a year after them, so why not? So Naruto stands up and says, oh, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I want to become Hokage one day. And everyone laughs at this, saying, you want to become Hokage? Even Sasuke is laughing at this, but Tsuki, when Naruto sat down, Tsuki's like, that's a great dream, Naruto. I support you. And Naruto's like, oh, thank you. And yeah, so just saying, Tsuki actually doesn't want to kill Itachi. She actually wants to understand why he did this, and there must be a reason why. Because if he just tried to test his power, why didn't he just kill them too? Because there were some old people who were actually stronger than Tsuki and Sasuke were kind of stronger, and yeah, this I'm explaining. A few months have passed by now because the Uchiha massacre actually happened a few months after. So a few months passed, and Sasuke is completely depressed. He's like, "Nah, I'm killing this prick." And Tsuki's like, "No, you should understand why he did this." And Sasuke's like, "Shut up, and you dog." Yeah, he calls her the B word, which hurts Tsuki. And one night Tsuki was just there because Sasuke and Tsuki were actually separated because Tsuki said that Sasuke wasn't treating her well and she was kind of scared. Sorry guys, there's a kid screaming outside like he's getting kidnapped, but he's not. His dad's there anyway. So I was kind of worried, that's why. Anyway, Tsuki one day was standing outside her building, where she lives. She doesn't live in the Uchiha district anymore. She lives somewhere actually near Naruto, like the house next to his the building next to his. She lives there, and Naruto actually was coming back home. And just saying, this was like in the winter, and he was coming back home all beaten up because he was actually on the famous swing on his own, and some bullies just came up to him and beat him up. And Tsuki actually saw this, and she was kind of worried for Naruto's well-being, and she ran up to him and asked, "Hey Naruto, what happened to you?" And Tsuki wasn't the best of friends with Naruto because Naruto really was awkward around her, so he never actually made the move to become her friend. But Tsuki really didn't mind him, and if Naruto wanted to be her friend, she would be. She didn't care. And she asked Naruto, "Hey Naruto, what happened to you?" And Naruto says, "Oh, nothing." And Tsuki's like, "You can't just say nothing when your face is bruised and everything." And then Naruto explains that he was just sitting down alone and he got beaten up by a few kids. And Tsuki's like, "I wonder who those kids are. If I found them, I'd beat them up for you." And Naruto's like, "It's fine. Happens all the times, pretty much my whole life." And Tsuki was like, "Wait, what? don't your parents say anything about it? And Tsuki doesn't know that Naruto's an orphan, and Naruto's like, um, and he really didn't know how to answer that. And Tsuki's like, yeah, and Naruto's like, I don't have any parents, and Tsuki's like, wait, what? And Naruto's like, well, you see, from the day I was born, I was always alone, and I was left in this building apartment, and the third Hokage gives me some money to pay rent and buy food, but yeah, I've never had a family, so I don't know. I don't know if they would be angry at me for not fighting back or anything. So Atsuki was really pissed off that Naruto, just a kid who was just sitting down, was beaten up for no reason, because she doesn't know the true reason why Naruto was beaten up, and she doesn't care about the Nine Tails attack because she wasn't really affected, and she didn't care because it's not his fault if she found out. And Tsuki is like the opposite of Sasuke. She's more understanding, more kind, more outgoing. That's what I mean. And a lot of guys have a crush on her, and all the girls are jealous, but all the girls have a crush on Sasuke, which all the guys are jealous. So the two Uchiha are like that. And Naruto, I can't say Naruto really has a crush on Tsuki because, well, he really does, but he doesn't want to show it to anyone because he knows he'll just get laughed at, saying that Tsuki would never go out with him. And Tsuki says, are you sure do you have anything to bandage yourself up with the knots? That I have some ice, it's fine, I'll just go sleep, you'll heal on its own. And Tsuki's like, no, you're bleeding, come to my house. And she takes him in and bandages him up, well, plasters everywhere. And Naruto says thanks, and he's gonna walk back, and Tsuki's like, wait, take this. And Tsuki gives him a pair of gloves because Naruto's gloves were fully ripped and it was snowing outside. She was just out there, just why not? She was just breathing the air. So Naruto waves goodbye, saying thank you, and he goes off. And Naruto is actually really depressed here. He's not like the other Naruto where he pulls pranks or anything. He's more cautious around other people because he's actually scared. People have been hating him for even longer than before, because before he really didn't notice until he was like 4. But now he noticed since he was born. Naruto was more keen here. So he was more cautious around people, tried to do nothing around them, and tried to keep to himself. So that's why he really didn't want to like get too friendly with Tsuki, because he doesn't want Tsuki to be hated because of him. And Tsuki was really worried, so she looks out the window and Naruto's walking, and he falls on his face, and then Tsuki kind of laughs, but then Naruto gets back up and goes home. A few years pass. A few months, my bad, I read the script wrong. A few months pass. School has began like a month ago. Yes, they got a month break because there were 2 months break because there were some renovations that were happening in the academy. So they got a few 8 weeks off. And Naruto has actually become more closer to Tsuki because Tsuki realized that Naruto actually lived right next to her, and Naruto actually woke up really early in the morning, which actually intrigued Tsuki because no one's awake at this time except for her, because she wakes up just to do chakra control training. Yes, she's actually a prodigy. Naruto's actually a prodigy as well, but he really didn't have the resources while Tsuki did. She actually had some scrolls that she took from the Uchiha Uchiha compound on the night of the massacre, while Sasuke actually just ran away crying. Tsuki actually thought thoroughly, and she's like, wait, they're going to take everything from us, right? Let me take something important. Let me take a few things, because Tsuki was thinking of the future, because she wanted to get stronger so she can actually fight her brother and get an explanation from him, because her brother wasn't going to give any explanations. Itachi wasn't going to give any explanations if Tsuki didn't beat it out of him. And Tsuki was actually training in the morning, and then she sees Naruto coming out, and Naruto was still kind of bandaged. His wounds were actually better, but of course they weren't the best. Tsuki actually followed Naruto to a forest where Naruto actually trained on his own, but then got hungry, and he's like, there's nothing to eat, and he just starts he actually sheds one one little tiny drop of water from his eyes, one tear, and that kind of made Suki really sad. And she's like, wait, I have some money, right? Let me go get him some food. We can eat together. I haven't had breakfast either. And Suki was wondering why Naruto was crying over breakfast, and then she realized that he lives alone, and maybe since his parents never really left him anything, because it was in the middle of the thing, and the Danzo really don't want to give him much, and the third Hokage really couldn't, since the council never allowed him to give him more than what he needed, and Naruto ran out of money that month, so he didn't have anything left, so he had to just live on water. He paid his rent, but he needed new clothes because his ones ripped in while he was getting bullied. So Tsuki came back to see Naruto actually training again, and she was really impressed by Naruto's skills, but then realizes that Naruto is actually just as good as her with ninja tools, but he just never has anything to train with, because she has scrolls. She knows how to do chakra control training, but Naruto doesn't. He doesn't have anything, so he's doing it all by himself, while she has something to learn from, while Naruto is just trying on his own, trying his best, and being hated at the same time. So Tsuki actually comes up to Naruto saying, "Hey Naruto, I've followed you and I saw you, and I figured you were hungry, so here, want to have breakfast with me." And Naruto was really happy. He's like, "Are you sure you want to share with me?" And Tsuki's like, "Yeah, of course. You're my friend." And Naruto's like, "Wait, really?" And Tsuki was like, "Yeah, of course." And Naruto actually had breakfast with her, and then Tsuki said, "Hey Naruto, you train on your own, right?" And Naruto's like, "Yeah." And Tsuki's like, "Then how are you so good?" And Naruto's like, "I've been training since I was a little kid, but I never really learned any ninjutsu, since I don't have anything to learn from, or a teacher who teaches me." And Tsuki's like, "Wanna learn with me? I have something in my place that my parents left me." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, sure." And Naruto actually did hear about the Uchiha massacre, and he was really sad for Tsuki, but he really didn't know how to console her. And Tsuki showed him that she had a ton of ninjutsu scrolls full of different types of chakra natures, from wind all the way to bloody wind, rock, wind, earth, fire, lightning, and the water release ninjutsus. And Naruto was really intrigued, but he's like, "But I don't know what a release I am," because Naruto's actually been learning in the academy. He's not dead last, but a lot of users have been saying that it's not about being last and first in the team. So yeah, Naruto, Tsuki then showed him that there's this paper to tell, and actually gave it to Naruto, but Naruto didn't know how to actually put chakra in it. And Tsuki's like, "Oh, I guess you have to start from the basics. Don't worry, Naruto, I had to do that too." So Naruto actually starts in chakra control training with Tsuki each morning, and it took him a few days to learn how to actually use his chakra. And now that he learned it, Naruto, just saying, this is like the second year of the academy, and they were meant to learn it this year. The first year was just like the history of the Leaf Village and everything. So this year Naruto actually trained with Tsuki and learned a lot. He learned that he has 3 chakra releases already, because Naruto now has the resources, and he's training with Tsuki, while Sasuke is training on his own. And Tsuki is actually stronger than Naruto right now, because Tsuki knows the fireball jutsu, the great fireball. Also, she knows the shuriken jutsu, but those are all her jutsus. Only 3, but they're not too bad. And Tsuki does have another chakra nature that she knew she had. She actually has wind release, and since fire is default to all Uchihas, she realized that wind release is her own. And Naruto had wind release from the beginning, and she's like, "Wow, he has the same one as me. I heard wind release is really rare." And yeah, so Naruto actually learned the shuriken jutsu just like Tsuki did, but Naruto actually learned the shadow clone jutsu because he was in one of the scrolls. Tsuki couldn't do it. Tsuki could only do like 3 shadow clones, while Naruto actually did 100. Well, not 100, sorry, 10. And Naruto was really happy that he's good at it, and Tsuki was really happy for him. But then she remembers reading that his clan is actually has His clan is special because they have immense amount of chakra and life force. Naruto's like, oh wow, really? And Naruto is like a bit more like Hinata here, and he's more shy, and he's only comfortable around Tsuki, no one else, because well, of course, he will start making new friends like Shikamaru Choji. Will stop like trying to fit in, and they're like, who cares? I mean, who are not sheeps? So let us be us anyway. So Naruto actually learns the Shadow Kunai Jutsu and the Shadow Shuriken Jutsu, which Tsuki has been trying to learn for so long, but she just never gets it right. And Naruto learned it in a month, and that was the last month of their little holiday, and school began again. So Naruto and Tsuki really didn't have much time to train in the morning, since school starts at 8, and they usually used to train from 7 to 11, and now they had to wake up really early to train, and it was still winter, just saying. It was around like since it started snowing in December, now it's like end of January, start of February, and the snow's still there. It still snows, but of course they have to wake up really early to train together. So yeah, Naruto and Tsuki actually train together each morning from 5 to 7, and then they just go back home, have a shower, and go to school together. Yeah, so Naruto and Tsuki are building up a relationship. A year passes, and Naruto and Tsuki have actually a little friend group now, which is them two, Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, and also Hinata stopped hating Naruto. She doesn't like him, like she doesn't have a crush on him, but she's okay with him because Naruto's actually a kind person, and she realized that Naruto was what's that saying? You know, never judge a book from its cover. Yeah, they judged Naruto in a bad way, and now she found out that Naruto is actually a really kind person, and she likes him as a friend now. Of course, Shino's their friend. So it's Shino, Ino, Kiba. I mean, not Kiba. Tsuki, Naruto, and Choji, Shikamaru, and Hinata. There's 7 of them. So now the academy actually comes to an end. A few years pass. Naruto's now 12. Tsuki's 12. Everyone's 12, and the final exam is in a day. Naruto's actually been training with Tsuki for the past 3 years, since they started when they were 9. Now they're 12, and they've been studying and doing everything together. Naruto's actually learned a lot. He's actually realized that he can use lightning release properly. Like, he knows how to use it perfectly, and he actually learned lightning stream. Also, he has water release, and he can use the water shockwave, the water bullet jutsu, the water wave, also the the water prison jutsu. I know that's a really advanced technique, but Naruto's a prodigy. Also, Tsuki has water, fire, and lightning. So, no, I mean wind, fire, and lightning. Sorry, I got it wrong. And she can use the Great Fireball Jutsu, also the Fire Phoenix Jutsu, the Fire Dragon Jutsu, the Great Fireball, the Majestic Flame Destroyer. Yes, she learned that over time, over 3 years, and it took her over 3 years to learn that. Also, she knows the Shuriken Jutsu. She now knows the Shadow Kunai Shadow Clone and Shuriken Shadow Clone. Also, she knows the lightning stream, and she can actually use lightning on her blade or shurikens and that, and kunais. And Naruto knows how to do that too, since he has lightning release as well. And she knows the lightning clone and the shadow clone jutsu. So they have really similar techniques. And Naruto also has the wind cannon. It's a technique where he gathers wind in his little ball, like a Rasengan, but a bit bigger, and then when he releases it, it's like a tornado coming out of his hands. Or he can just throw it, and when he hits someone, there's a massive wind wind current. And also he can do lightning clones, also lightning also he can add lightning to his weapons. Anyway, the next day arrives, and Naruto and Tsuki are taking their exam. Naruto passes with flying colors since he knows the Shadow Clone Jutsu, and he felt like kinda showing off a bit since they all thought Naruto was this stupid guy, even though he actually passed all the written exams. And he never showed his true knowledge about taijutsu and ninjutsu, but and genjutsu. Naruto doesn't know genjutsu. Tsuki's amazing at genjutsu, but she's not the best in taijutsu. Naruto's amazing at taijutsu, nowhere near Tsuki's level in genjutsu, but in ninjutsu they're both the same. Sasuke is actually a bit better than both of them in taijutsu. Also, no, Sasuke and Naruto are the same at taijutsu, just that Naruto always faked that he lost to Sasuke because he doesn't want to ruin his ego, because Tsuki said that if you're going to beat him, be careful, he might get angry because he's really egoistic. And yes, and Naruto's that it's fine. And yeah, so Naruto showed off a bit and made enough shadow clones to fill up the whole room, which Mitsuki's plan then was blown away because he realized that Naruto is too good of a prodigy. But then he said maybe I can still trick him, and everyone passes, and Naruto actually has a headband now, but of course this time he's not sitting on his swing, and he's actually celebrating with his friends. Well, his friends, most of his friends' parents come and they take them, except for Tsuki. Naruto's now just with Tsuki, and Tsuki says, "Hey Naruto, wait 1 second. Let me quickly go to that shop. I need to buy something." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, sure." And while he was waiting, Mitsuki actually told him, "Hey Naruto, you want to learn something new?" And Naruto's like, "Hey Mitsuki-sensei, how you doing?" And he's like, Mitsuki's like, "Answer my question, Naruto. Do you want to learn an amazing jutsu?" And Naruto's like, "Yeah, of course I do." And he's like, "Then, go to the Hokage office tonight and steal the scroll of sealing, and bring it to me in the forest. I'll teach you an amazing jutsu from there." And Naruto's like, "Really?" Naruto wasn't that naive, of course. He's just acting, and he smirks because he really wants to learn the jutsu from there. And he's like, "Alright." And at night, Naruto actually goes to the Hokage office and is able to, since actually he's actually pretty good at stealth, not the best, but he was actually able to catch the Hokage off guard. While he was actually smoking a pipe, he went off and stole the scroll of sealing, and then the Hokage actually saw him, but Naruto was too fast, and he really didn't want to try. He's like, "Alright, emergency." Naruto stole the scroll. Tsuki actually heard of this because she actually went out because she wanted to buy something again, and it's not food, it's actually a a kunai, because she wanted to give a gift to Naruto, and she heard of Naruto stealing the scroll, and she's like, "Why would he do that? He's not the type of guy." And basically she actually notices Naruto jumping on a roof, and she follows him, and then quietly, and she sees that Naruto meets up with Mitsuki sensei, and she's like, "Mitsuki sensei, what's he doing here?" And then Mizuki, I think, not Mitsuki, Mizuki, and Naruto's like, "Here you go, Mizuki sensei." And then Mizuki's like, "Yeah, thank you, Naruto," and gets a kunai out of his pouch, well, not pouch, ninja pouch, and then was about to stab Naruto, but then Naruto poofs, and then the scroll poofs, and it was actually a Naruto, and Naruto's like, "Thank you for holding me, Mizuki sensei, take this," and kicks Mizuki, and then he makes 100 shadow clones, and they all punch him, and they tie him up to a tree, and he's like, "Don't try to make me steal the scroll and then try to kill me. I already knew your plan. I'm not stupid. I know you wanted to steal it for yourself, but you're not. You'll get noticed straight away. But if I stole it for you, the people would think it was me." And then Mizuki's like, "Shut up, you demon fox!" And Naruto's like, "Wait, what?" And basically then Tsuki's like, "Wait, what?" And then he explains that Naruto's the demon fox, and Naruto is like, "Oh, so that's why I'm hated by everyone." And a tear falls down his face, and Tsuki is like, "Oh no, Naruto." And basically Naruto is like, "It's fine though, I have friends. I don't care. As long as my friends are with me, I don't really care who's inside of me. And plus, I'm sure they'll understand. It's not my fault. Now, You stay here while I write down a jutsu I wanna learn. So Naruto just looks at the scroll, and this was like 10 minutes before Iruka actually arrived, and he actually finds a really cool. He actually is reading through this ninjutsus, and he's like, okay, let me write this down. The water style water dragon jutsu, and then he's like, okay, let me write this down. The Rasengan, and then alright, one more, and he scrolls through and he sees that this fourth Hokage said this is the renewed technique of the second Hokage, and he writes all the steps that the second Hokage wrote and his own, and he's like, that's really interesting, bending space and time. And I'm sure you guys all can catch on what I'm talking about, the flying Raijin, and he writes it down, and Tsuki was kind of laughing and says, hey Naruto, you know Iruka sensei is coming, you better hide that, you better hide the little scroll you're writing them into. And Naruto's like, oh Tsuki, sorry, and Tsuki's like, it's fine, I won't tell him as long as you let me learn them as well. And Naruto's like, oh, let me find one for you, and Naruto has actually found the it's like the water dragon jutsu, just that it's fire dragon jutsu. Naruto's like, alright, let's do this. And he closes, he hides the scroll, and then Iruka sensei arrives, and Naruto's like, here you go Iruka sensei, I just wanted to catch this bastard, he was trying to make me steal it, and I didn't do anything with the scroll. And Iruka's like, then why didn't you just tell the Hokage? And Naruto's like, oh, I just wanted to test my strength with the tuning level fighter. And Iruka's like, you're always so reckless Naruto. Anyway, well done. I'll tell the Hokage. In fact, I'll offer you ramen for tonight. After all, you did pass the exam with flying colors. And Naruto's like, really? Can we take Tsuki as well? And Iruka's like, Tsuki? Why is she here? And Naruto's like, Tsuki, you can actually come out. You don't have to hide. And then Iruka's like, were you in this too? And Tsuki's like, no, I just watched the fight. And it was pretty cool. Naruto kind of destroyed Mizuki sensei. And Iruka's like, I understand. I would never imagine Tsuki, the best student in our class, actually stealing the scroll of sealing with Naruto, one of our worst students. And Naruto's like, hey look, I passed, you know. And Iruka's like, anyway. And then a few other Jonin arrive, and then he's like, Naruto really didn't steal it, he was just trying to catch this Mizuki bastard. He was trying to steal the scroll for himself. In fact, he actually tried to kill Naruto. And they're like, do you have any proof? And Tsuki is like, I can show you with my Sharingan. And she shows what really happened, but then she cuts out the bit when Naruto starts writing. She only puts it up to where Mizuki told Naruto that he's the Nine Tails, and then basically Tsuki really didn't give a damn about Naruto being the Nine Tails, and well, having the Nine Tails. And they're like, wait, Naruto, you know you're the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. And Naruto's like, yeah, so what? Do you guys hate me too? Do you guys want me to vanish? Or should... And they're like, no, it's fine. Anyway, here, Iruka, you can give the scroll to us. We'll take Mizuki to the third Hokage, to the to Ibiki as well, because they want to interrogate him, and they vanish with body flicker. And Iruka's like, I'm sorry Naruto, I just couldn't tell you. And Naruto's like, it's fine, at least you don't hate me, that's all that matters. And then Tsuki's like, when we meant to go ramen? And Iruka's like, oh yeah, let's go. So Naruto kind of destroys. Naruto actually doesn't destroy Iruka's wallet, because Naruto eats normally because of Tsuki. Tsuki actually did see his diet, and she's like, no, you're not eating ramen each day, you're eating vegetables from now on. So he is more used to eating like 1 or 2 bowls of ramen, that's it. So yeah, he still loves ramen, just that he doesn't eat as much. So then Naruto and Tsuki thank Iruka sensei, and they go off. So now Naruto and Tsuki are walking together, they're going home, and Tsuki asks, what ninjutsus did you write? And Naruto's like, I'll show you, after all, we have the whole night, right? And Tsuki's like, but we have to go to school tomorrow. And Naruto's like, it's fine, we can wake up, I'm pretty sure. And they read the scrolls and how to do the techniques. Naruto's like, alright, we can both learn this technique, the flying Raijin. The Rasengan, you need a lot of chakra, and I don't think you don't really like too many chakra draining ninjutsu. So even though the flying Raijin is chakra draining, as long as you master it, you can spam it from then on. And Tsuki's like, yeah, and then Naruto's like, I even wrote you a fire style ninjutsu since I wrote, and he's like, this is the fire dragon jutsu, and Tsuki's like, whoa, amazing, I want to learn that. And Naruto's like, well, I wrote the water dragon jutsu because I found it. And she's like, oh, that's the same thing as mine. And Naruto's like, yeah, I was really surprised that you can do both jutsus with two different chakra natures, but I don't think you can. And then Tsuki's like, well, the steps are the same. Do you think you can do it with wind style, or maybe earth style and lightning style? And Naruto's like, I'll try, but I don't have earth style though. And Tsuki's like, oh yeah, I forgot. And they actually tried to learn the flying Raijin first because that looked the most intriguing one, the most intriguing looking one. So they actually try, and they flop multiple times, and they actually run out of chakra. So the next Naruto and Tsuki actually fall asleep at her place, and Naruto then wakes up realizing that they need to go to the academy, and then sees Tsuki curled up in a little ball position in his arms. And Naruto's like, oh, Tsuki, we gotta go to school. And Tsuki wakes up, and she's like, oh, sorry. And yeah, so they go home. Naruto goes home, gets ready, because he needed to wear new clothes since yesterday they were kind of sweating since they did have a shower, and they went to school. The teams were actually announced, and Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino were in one team, and Naruto's like, oh, lucky them, they're in one group. And then he's like, I hope I'm with any of my friends, Shino, Hinata, or Tsuki, especially Tsuki. And then Tsuki was called out, then Shino was called out, and Naruto's like, please be me, please be me, please be me. And then Hinata was called out, and Naruto's like, no. And Tsuki was like, it's fine, Naruto, we're still friends, right? And Naruto's like, yeah, of course. And then Team 7 was called out, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno. And Naruto's like, oh no, I'm probably in her team. And then Naruto's Maki, and Sakura's like, oh, him. And she only hated him because she thought he was a creep, since he was always shy and only talks to some people. And then Sasuke Uchiha, and Naruto's like, oh no. And Tsuki started laughing at Naruto. She's like, you have my stubborn brother. And just saying, Tsuki hasn't talked to Sasuke in a while. Even though Sasuke still cares about her, he just doesn't want to talk to her because he doesn't want to show it. But Tsuki always checks up on him every week if he's doing well. So Naruto's team is actually Team 7, as usual. And of course, Team 7 has Kakashi, so Kakashi takes like 4 hours more than what all the other teachers took. And Naruto's like, you took your damn time, you know. And when he walked in, and then Kakashi's like, I just got lost in the path of life. And Naruto didn't really know Kakashi well. He only heard stories about him, and him being OP as hell, and him knowing the 1,000 different jutsus, but he wasn't really expecting him to know that many, because even someone like him with and he knows about a lot of clans, especially his one. He did study about it, and he's like, no, my clan could do 1,000 jutsus in a fight. Anyway, so of course and they go to the roof, and they all say their dreams. Sasuke's like, my dream will become reality. I will kill a certain man, and I will restore my clan. And Naruto's like, fair enough. And then Sakura's like, oh, my likes are, and looks at Sasuke. My dislikes are, looks at Naruto. And she's like, in the future I want to be, and looks at Sasuke. And then Naruto's like, oh, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. I want to become Hokage one day. And my ninja way is never to go back on my word, and to protect my friends. So Kakashi is like, interesting. One guy is a sadistic and wants to kill someone and restore his clan. Another girl is just fangirling over him, and another one is fully he's not self-centered or anything, but he cares about his friends, and he wants to become Hokage. Very interesting. An interesting bunch. Just that one looks useless. That one looks too egoistic. and prideful. Well, this one looks like he could actually become something. After all, he isn't Sensei's son. So yeah, then he explains that tomorrow they will have an exam and they have to they cannot eat, and if they eat they will puke. And Naruto doesn't believe this because he's like, no, impossible. A ninja should always eat before going into a fight. And yeah, so Naruto of course goes and in the morning he actually wakes up and he eats not too much, but he eats quite a bit, and he goes to the meeting place. And just saying, Tsuki actually had to wake up way earlier to take her exam, and her one is literally the same thing, the bell test as well. All the teams have to do the bell test, and Naruto's team is the worst one at it because Naruto's team has, well, team 10 and team 8 are friends. Literally, they've been friends since the beginning of the academy, or the second year, while Naruto's team is literally him not knowing anything about Sakura or Sasuke. Well, he knows a bit about Sasuke, him being able to use some jutsus, but he has no chemistry with them, he has no communication skills with them. So he's like, it's going to be hard, because he knows that a team is meant to work together, and he's like, if we this test is probably going to be about teamwork, and our team is literally made out of two dumbasses who won't even be able to work together, nor with me or nor with themselves. And so Kakashi appears. Naruto's not that hungry, but the other two are, and Kakashi realizes that Naruto actually ate, and he's like, whatever. And he explains the test, and Sakura points out that there's only 2 bells, and Naruto's like, well, I guess only 2 of us will be passing then, and that one person will definitely be me, not you guys, and I won't be failing. And Sakura's like, don't get too cocky, you creep. And Naruto's like, what did I ever do to you? And she's like, shut up. And basically the exam begins, and everyone actually goes to hide. Just Naruto, just when he actually went off, he actually threw a kunai and the shuriken, which Kakashi dodged easily, and Naruto's like, alright, his reflexes are really good for it. And he's like, what am I talking about? He's a Jonin, of course they will be good. And he actually goes to and finds Sakura and pulls her with him, and finds Sasuke and tells them his plan, and that it's they just have to work together and get the bells, or they won't pass. Even if one of them gets the bells, they won't, without teamwork they won't pass. And plus, the only way we can beat him is us 3 working together. It's a Jonin, we're 3 Genin who can't even be a Chunin yet. And Sasuke's like, you're underestimating my strength. And then Naruto's like, no, but even if you're Chunin level, you'll never be able to be a Jonin right now. And Sasuke understands that because he's thinking rationally right now. And Sakura will just do anything that Sasuke does. So Naruto then tells them that he'll Sakura will be the diversion, throwing kunais and shurikens at him, and then Sasuke will find an opening doing any jutsu he has or anything, and then starting a taijutsu battle, and then I'll come in and try to cut the 2 bells off him and then throw it to you guys. And they understand, and they're like, alright, let's do this. And Sakura's like, why do I have to be the diversion? And Naruto's like, will you be fast enough to cut the bells off while he's fighting Sasuke without hurting him or hurting your beloved Sasuke? And she's like, alright, I'll be the diversion. And yeah, so Naruto actually body flickers to the other side of the forest without making any noise. That's how good he is. And Sasuke's like, damn, he didn't make any noise. And he goes off and making hella noise. And well, of course he's not near the tree line, of course, but he actually comes near it afterwards, because he doesn't want to make so much noise that Kakashi will be able to hear him on which side he'll come out from. So Sakura actually comes out of nowhere and starts throwing kunais and shurikens, kunais after shuriken, kunai after shuriken, until she runs out. And the last one actually gave an opening to Sasuke, who's getting kind of pissed off that she made no openings, and he realizes it's his time, and he comes in with a fireball jutsu with which Kakashi actually dodges. And then Sasuke's like, now's my time, and he's starting to line barrage, spamming line barrage, and he's fighting Kakashi. And the fight goes pretty similar with Sasuke and Kakashi, but then Naruto actually comes in out of nowhere saying, you're done for, and literally throwing a kunai with the wind release on it, so it's much faster than normal. And Kakashi's like, what? that kunai has wind release, what the hell? And he tries to jump but the kunai still hit the two bells, and they got cut off, and Naruto actually used body flicker to catch both of them, and threw one to Sakura, which she barely caught, and one to Sasuke, which he caught with one hand. And Naruto's like, we passed Kakashi Sensei. It's not about two of us only getting the bells. It's about teamwork. It was too easy. And Kakashi's like, God damn it, even if two of them didn't eat, they got the bells. Well, this is a really interesting bunch. They passed the exam in less than 20 minutes. And he's like, well done. Not even 20 minutes and you guys were able to pass. Amazing. Really good. Even my old team took way longer to pass. Anyway, I guess you guys have passed. You can have lunch. Only two of you though. And Naruto says, yeah, you guys can have lunch. I have plans with someone else. And he runs off. And Kakashi's like, plans with someone else? I want to see this. And he actually follows Naruto because he's actually kind of fond of Naruto, because that's the only thing that he has from, well, the only person who resembles his, well, the child of his sensei. Anyway, so Naruto actually meets up at the place where Tsuki said, 12 p.m. and there were only like 10 minutes left, and Naruto sees Tsuki and says, hey Tsuki, you're pretty early. And Tsuki's like, nah, I just arrived. And so they go off on their little date. Yes, they're having a date, I'm joking, they're just going to have lunch. And they actually meet up with Shino, Ino, and the rest of the gang, and they all go to Ichiraku Ramen, and they have ramen there, and they all say they all passed their test. And of course Kakashi now heads to the now sees that Naruto really didn't have a date, he was only hanging out with friends, and he's like, alright, let me go to tell the Hokage. And then the Hokage really wasn't expecting Kakashi to be there so fast, since his team is the most stubborn one out of all of them, since it's Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura. They have no chemistry together, while the other two teams, Team 10 and 8, were actually really good friends already. So of course they'd pass, since they'd actually listened to each other. But Kakashi said they all passed in less than 20 minutes. And Naruto actually used a lot of persuasive language to persuade the other two to fight. You know, you see that English thing, persuasive language, tentative language in that. Yeah, so Naruto's team, of course, passed, you know, Team 7 and that. No one really expected them to pass so quickly as well. They thought it would take them like 6 tries. Take them 6 tries or something. But whatever. Naruto has finished his lunch, and everyone had to go home because they were tired. And Tsuki wanted to go home as well, and Naruto's like, oh, okay, anyway, I'll go too. And then Tsuki's like, wait, would you rather train in that technique again? And Naruto's like, but you're tired, it's fine, we can train another time. And Tsuki's like, no, tomorrow I have missions in the morning, I don't want to. And Naruto's like, oh yeah, true, are you sure though? And she's like, yeah, let's go. And yeah, so Naruto and Tsuki train, and they're making progress. They know they know how to do the ceiling formula now. So yeah, Naruto was actually able to do one because of his immense amount of chakra. Tsuki actually failed again, but Naruto was fully out of chakra, and it was pretty late now. It was around like 10 p.m. Well, for them it's pretty late because they usually go sleep earlier. But of course, they keep trying, and Naruto does it 2 more times after regenerating some chakra, and his one's a bit less chakra draining now. And Tsuki was able to do it once, which knocked her out fully. And Naruto was like, I should put her in bed. And then he picks her up, puts her in bed, and he falls to the ground. The next morning, he gets woken up by Tsuki, trying to wake him up. And she's like, how did I get to my bed, and why are you on the floor? And Naruto's like, oh yeah, I put you in your bed because you you fell asleep, and I think I collapsed. And Tsuki's like, thank you, but are you sure you should stay here? It's 7:30. I have to go. And Naruto's, oh no, I have a mission at 8. And he goes home, has a shower, has breakfast, and quickly runs out, and comes a bit late, 10 minutes late. And yeah, they kind of Sakura was kind of pissed off, but she couldn't really do anything because Kakashi was there, and Kakashi's like, it's fine, let's go. And now Naruto is getting his first mission, and he's really tired because he had to train so hard, but his chakra is fully recovered. And um, what happens is that they get a mission where they have to find a cat, a ninja cat. So Naruto is like, alright, cool, we got this. And the ninja cat was way too fast for all of them. Kakashi could have caught it easily, but he wants to let his team and work together. And they actually tried to work together, but it flopped because the ninja cat ruined their plan. And Naruto's like, alright, I can't be asked. And basically froze the kunai, the only kunai he has a sealing formula on. And Kakashi saw the kunai. It was kind of different because it was like the handle was white, like a normal kunai, but he had some writing on it, and it wasn't really writing, it was literally the Uzumaki seal, and in little he wrote Tsuki because he just likes her, and he threw it, and he teleported towards the cat. And well, he actually done a few smoke bombs around him, and they're like, what the hell are you doing? And Kakashi's like, what? And he actually jumps up to see what Naruto's trying to do, because there was wall smoke which was blocking everyone's view. Kakashi actually jumped, and then he saw Naruto throwing the kunai and teleporting it in front of the cat and catching it while he was trying to jump off the roof and to go to the next one. And Naruto then catches it, takes his kunai, puts it in his pouch, and Kakashi actually lands in his like, what the hell did I just see? Nah, I must be bugging, please. And he's like, I'll ask him afterwards. Naruto's really tired now, and he's like, oh, I can only do it twice more. Luckily, I left the sealing formula at my house. I can get there. And yeah, so Naruto finished his mission in like an hour. So it's around like nearly 10 o'clock because they had to give the report and everything. So that took like 20 minutes to get to the Hokage office, giving back the cat. And yeah, so it's 9:30. Naruto is about to walk home, and then Kakashi stops him and pulls him to the corner and kisses him. I'm joking. No, 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 no. So he's like, what did you just do there? I saw everything. You threw your kunai and you used the flying Raijin. And Naruto's like, wait, you know it? And Kakashi's like, that was my teacher's technique. Tell me, where did you learn it? And Naruto's like, it's none of your business, Kakashi sensei. You're just gonna tell the Hokage, and the Hokage is gonna shout at me. And Kakashi's like, why should I tell the Hokage? Someone must have taught you that technique. There's no way you could have learned it on your own. Sorry, guys. Damn, I'm choking on my own spit. So yeah, I swallow. No, 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 no. I spit. So Naruto told him, it's none of your business. Please leave me alone. And Kakashi's like, listen, I just want to know. You remind me a lot of the fourth Hokage, my teacher. I'm really happy that someone can actually do it properly, just like him. And Naruto's like, I'm not the only one. Tsuki Uchiha can do it too. And Kakashi's eyes widen, and Uchiha learning the fourth Hokage's move. And Naruto's like, why? Is that weird? And he explains that the Uchiha really didn't like the fourth Hokage and explains everything. And Naruto's like, interesting. And he's like, oh yeah, so basically blah blah blah. He explains what happened, and Kakashi was like, interesting. You're pretty good, Naruto. Pretty sneaky too, but I'll only tell the third Hokage. He'll be Naruto said, no, I want to surprise him once, since I heard that this year there will be the tuning exams. I want to surprise him during them, and I want him to praise me because I've never showed him that I can really do something. So I want to show him that I can do this. And Kakashi's like, yeah, but I saw that you were really tired after that. Trying that. I guess you still need a lot of practicing, don't you? Naruto's like, I practice every day and I'll master it by the time of the tuning exams. And Kakashi's like, well, let me give you some advice. Train hard and remember, well, let me give you some information about the tuning exams. It'll be in 2 months. It'll be in a month and a half. So I'll just say 2 months. And Naruto's like, oh, thank you, I'll tell Tsuki. And basically Kakashi used body flicker to go away, and Naruto walks out of the corner and sees Tsuki walking out, and Tsuki was kind of suspicious of Naruto because he came out from a dark alley, and he's like, Naruto, what are you doing there? And Naruto's like, oh, I was just talking to someone, and Tsuki's like, "You're lying. I can smell something on you." And Naruto's like, "Wait, what?" And he smells cigarettes, and Tsuki was really angry. She's like, "Do you smoke, Naruto?" Naruto's like, "No, no, no, no. Look, 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 look. There's someone there behind me." And the man was smoking. And he's like, "Yeah, what do you want, kids?" And they're like, "Oh, nothing." And Tsuki apologizes to Naruto. Naruto's like, "It's fine, it's fine. Anyway, I had to use the flying Raijin today because our mission was going really badly. My team just couldn't work well. We kind of worked together, but in the end, the cat was so annoying. So I had to use the flying Raijin to catch him." And Tsuki kind of laughed and says, "Of course, resorting to one of your most, one of your most, one of your strongest, not most strongest, most." Oh my god, I said most again. One of your strongest techniques. And Naruto's like, "Yeah, but what could I have done? Like, the cat was annoying." And she's like, "Alright, anyway, wanna go have lunch together?" And Naruto's like, "We had ramen yesterday." And Tsuki's like, "No, I wanna cook today." And Naruto's like, "You cooking?" "Yes, please." And just saying, Naruto and Tsuki are not dating, they're just friends. They like each other, but they both think it's one-sided, so they don't tell each other. And yeah, so Naruto's like, "Yes, Tsuki's cooking." And they have lunch together, and of course, they start training as well. So they train till night again, and Naruto's like, "Hey, do you want to train at, do you want to go out with me?" And Tsuki's like, "On a date?" And Naruto's like, "No, no, no, for dinner. Do you want to go and get some food?" And Tsuki's like, "Yeah, we don't have anything left." And Naruto's like, "I don't know how to cook." And Tsuki's like, "I'll teach you one of these days." So they go to Ichiraku Ramen, they have dinner, and they both go home. And then Naruto invites Tsuki over just to show her something. And Naruto showed that he actually did this sealing formula in his home, and he can teleport there even without the kunai. If the sealing formula is just there, he can teleport to it. And Tsuki's really impressed by Naruto's understanding of the flying Raijin already, and she's like, "I can only do it 3 times. You can do already 10." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, but my chakra is much my chakra is I have more chakra than you, that's what I mean." And Tsuki's like, "Yeah, but your one is less chakra draining." And Naruto's like, "You just have to practice a lot. Since I was already able to do 3 when you were able to do 1, and now 10 when you're able to do 3. Tomorrow you'll be able to do 10 and I'll be able to do 17." And she's like, "No, you'll be able to do 30 by then." And Naruto's like, "How?" And she's like, "I don't know, you're you." And Naruto's like, "True." And so Tsuki is actually now just a bit weaker than Naruto, but she's like, "I'm not going to lose to him." And at night she actually goes back, to their little place where they train in the woods, and she actually sees Naruto training, and she's like, "Naruto?" And Naruto's like, "Oh, Tsuki, hello." And she's like, "What are you doing?" And Naruto's like, "Well, you remember the other techniques that I wrote down?" And she's like, "Yeah." And after that, "I was trying to master the Rasengan." And she's like, "The Rasengan? Oh, that one. I don't like it. I'm more of a, like, I just don't like for using, I don't like the she just doesn't like how it sounds. It will look like the Rasengan sounds like a ball, like a concentrated, an immense amount of chalk concentrated in one little place." And Tsuki just doesn't like that. She likes bigger moves like the Fire Dragon Jutsu. And she's like, "I was here to learn the Fire Dragon Jutsu." And Naruto's like, "Oh, it's very easy." And she's like, "How do you know?" And then he's like, "I already mastered the Water Dragon Jutsu, the Lightning Dragon Jutsu, and the Wind Dragon Jutsu." And Tsuki's like, "What? You left me behind?" And Naruto's like, "No, no, no. I learned it before you came." And she's like, "Is that easy?" And she learns it so really quickly, 10 minutes. And she's like, "Yay!" And so their training ends for the night. Naruto actually knows the first step of the Rasengan, the popping. No, he doesn't actually know about the balloons. Well, he actually wrote them down, but he never really thought of using them. He thought he can just do it, and then he realizes that maybe he just should follow step by step. And the next day, after their mission, they actually train together again. Tsuki is actually training in the flying Raijin, while Naruto's like, I'll only start training on the flying Raijin after I've mastered the first step. And he does it in an hour or so, and then he starts practicing the flying Raijin. And when Suki was actually sitting down resting, Naruto actually um, patted her shoulder, and she's like, "You're doing well, Suki." Well, he's like, "You're doing well, Suki," and Suki smiles at him. And she didn't notice that Naruto actually left the sealing formula there, just in case something happens. And what Naruto didn't realize, Tsuki did as well when she actually um, fell on him. Yes, she fell on him accidentally, but then she said, might as well just do it. So they both put a sealing formula without them knowing, and they're like, yes. And so Tsuki actually continues learning jutsus from a scroll. And just saying, Tsuki actually knows how to use the Sharingan, and she has one Tomoe in one eye and two Tomoe in the other. Sasuke actually has three Tomoe in both now, because Sasuke has been training more intensively since he doesn't want to lose to Tsuki. But if he came to a fight, Tsuki would actually either win or draw. She wouldn't lose because the strength is actually similar. But if Sasuke learned a new technique, like let's say the Chidori, and Tsuki was left behind, Tsuki would lose. But since she's learning the flying Raijin, Sasuke against Tsuki, Tsuki would win right now, because she knows the flying Raijin and she can actually use it pretty well. Naruto actually has mastered it by now. It's been a few weeks, and they've been training together for a few weeks, and Naruto was actually getting pissed off that they're only doing finding missions and cat missions. And then he's like, "Hey, third Hokage, may we get a higher ranked mission?" And the third looks at Kakashi, "Are they ready?" And Kakashi's like, "You could say so. Naruto's actually really impressive, same as Sasuke and Sakura." And Naruto looks back at Sakura, and he's like, "What? Sakura? She did nothing in the missions." And Sakura's like, "What are you looking at?" And Naruto's like, "Oh, nothing." And so they actually get the Zabuza, well, the Tazuna mission, uh, and the C rank, the Tazuna mission, and it's just an escort mission. But Naruto was really excited, and yeah, so Naruto. I was actually told that tomorrow at 7 a.m. they have to meet up, and this time Tazuna really didn't make a joke about them, since they're all pretty tall, and Naruto looks actually really strong since he's a bit more robust, like a bit more buff and more muscular than before, since he actually ate pretty well, and he was actually pretty tall now. He was actually a bit taller than Sasuke, because of his genes. I'm joking. I mean, I'm pretty sure Naruto and Sasuke are the same height. Yeah, I'll say that. And yeah, Naruto is actually really happy to get this mission, and he's like, yes. And he actually tells Tsuki, and Tsuki was really happy for him. And so they both just go get some ramen to celebrate, and they go sleep this time, since they actually learn a lot of jutsus. Naruto, by this time, he has actually learned how to pop the air balloon, and it took him quite a while, a few weeks in fact, since the water balloon was really easy for him, and now it's just containment, which is actually training. And he's been training for a while now, for a few days, and he still hasn't mastered it, and he's close to it. If he uses a clone, he can actually do it, but the thing is, if he uses he wants to do it on his own, so he can actually do a combo with the flying Raijin, yes, teleport and just Rasengan their back. That's what he's trying to do. And at night he just goes sleep, and this time he actually invites Suki to stay over. He gives up his bed, and Suki's like, "Hey, listen, how about we stay at my place? My place is much not cleaner. They're actually pretty clean. Naruto's not messy this time, since he got the habit from Tsuki keeping everything clean. But Tsuki has a bigger bed, and Naruto's like, "Wait, you want me to sleep in the same bed as you?" And she's like, "Why not?" And since they're still 12, nothing will happen anyway. The next morning arrives, and Naruto is actually awake before Tsuki, since Tsuki is getting a day off today, and she wants to wish him goodbye. So so she actually wakes up as well as soon as she feels a bit of movement, and Naruto's like, "Sorry, I didn't want to wake you up," and she's like, "No, it's fine. I want to say I want to see you off at the main gate, and also my brother." And Tsuki actually arrived at the main gate with Naruto, and Sasuke looked at Naruto in a weird way, and Naruto's like, "No, no, no," and puts his hands up, and he's like, "I don't care what you do with my sister. She can do she can live her life." And Tsuki's like, "Anyway, older brother, younger brother, take care, okay?" And he's like, all right, whatever, and she actually says good luck to Naruto. She's not in the best relationship with Sakura, but they're actually really good friends. Why did I say that she's not in the best? She's actually in the best relationship with Sakura. They're actually really good friends, but Sakura just thinks Naruto's a creep because he hangs out with Tsuki way too much, and she can see that Tsuki has a crush on Naruto, and she's like, "Why are you crushing on Naruto? He's such a creep." And she's like, "No, she's not." And Sakura couldn't tell if Naruto had a crush on her, but because Naruto keeps to himself this time. Anyway, the mission begins. So Naruto and his team are actually going, and this time Sasuke and Naruto and Kakashi notice the puddle. Sakura just doesn't notice it since Naruto has been training for pretty much the whole time, and it was pretty hot in this past month, and it was, I think it was like near summer time, and Naruto noticed it, and he was on guard. And as soon as the demon brothers popped up, so they actually caught Kakashi, and Kakashi faked his death, and Naruto's like, alright, cool, and Sasuke's like, nope, and he takes all the glory, and he's like, he takes both of them out, and Naruto's like, impressive, pretty fast, and Sakura's like, well done, Sasuke, and Sasuke's like, whatever, and Naruto's like, well, always on Sasuke's, always licking Sasuke's feet, and they keep going, and then Naruto could feel an immense amount of bloodlust, and everyone could feel it, but they couldn't tell from where. Naruto's like there. He saw a bit of movement, and he sensed it there, and he threw a kunai, and a rabbit popped up, and it was a white rabbit, and Sakura was about to punch Naruto, and Naruto's like, don't even dare, don't you even dare, can you not see that rabbit is white when the middle of spring? Are you dumb? Why would it be white? It should be brown by now. It must have been kept in a cage. And Sakura actually realizes this, and Naruto realizes that there is something coming at them, and they all duck down except for Naruto, who teleports behind Zabuza and kicks him in the back of the head. Zabuza actually tries to punch him, but Naruto throws his kunai on top of the tree and teleports there, and Zabuza actually jumps to his sword and takes it, and Naruto's like, what, Zabuza? And Zabuza's like, who might you be, kid? And Kakashi's like, Naruto, come down. And basically Zabuza tries to slice Naruto off, but of course slice Naruto's head off, but Naruto actually threw the kunai next to Kakashi and teleported there, and he's like, Kakashi sensei, I believe you should take him on. He's a Jonin level fighter. I'm not sure if I could. Naruto knows he could easily because he's been training, and if he makes a shadow clone, he can actually do the Rasengan, which is an A rank technique. And so Kakashi actually takes him on, and he's fighting him off until he slips up, and he was actually about to be imprisoned in the water prison, but then Naruto's like, no you don't, and throws his kunai and teleports towards him, and he's like, I might as well just try, and he makes a Rasengan, but it wasn't, he still hasn't mastered containment, so as soon as he tries to smash on Zabuza, only a bit of wind went through Zabuza. He's like, is that all you can do, kid? And Naruto's like, god damn, I should have made a shadow clone, and Zabuza was about to slice him off, but then Kakashi got back on his feet and kicked his face, and Zabuza went flying. He backflipped like twice before landing, and he's like, you brat. And basically he wants to kill Naruto, so basically he does a water clone. Well, it looked like a normal clone, and basically he threw a smoke bomb, and then the other clone actually started attacking Tazuna, Sakura, and Sasuke. Sasuke was actually keeping up with the clone, and actually destroyed it, but the clone actually made another clone, water clone, and that caught Sasuke off guard. And just saying, the mission was still revealed to be a B rank or an A rank, but Naruto convinced Kakashi, and Kakashi's like, okay, and Naruto actually came in out of nowhere. He actually teleported there because he left the kunai before actually throwing and teleporting towards Zabuza before, and he teleported there with a clone this time, which he made the Rasengan. His Rasengan, and basically a little bit of a massive explosion. I'm joking. He just blows him back, and a massive explosion happens on the clone, and Kakashi was really stunned by this, and he actually was caught off guard, and he was kind of sliced, but that actually dropped him off his balance, and he was actually put in the water prison now. And Naruto and Sasuke had to come up with a plan, and Sasuke is like, alright Naruto, you transform into a shuriken and I'll throw you, and then you transform and you throw your kunai behind him. He knows that your kunai you can teleport to it, so you just flick it away. And Naruto's like, good plan. And Naruto throws like 10 smoke bombs, and he transforms, and out of nowhere a shuriken appears, and he actually doesn't even come close to Zabuza, and Zabuza's like, nice aim, kiddo. Now, is that all you can do? And then notices one of them being gone, the blonde one, and he's like, wait, what? And then he looks back, and the Naruto transforms back and throws the kunai. It wasn't actually meant to go to Zabuza, but he hit right next. Well, he hit the floor next to Zabuza, in between Zabuza and the water prison, and Naruto teleports there, and he's like, this time I'm not messing this up. And he actually was trying really hard, and he has a Rasengan, which Zabuza's like, are you going to fail again? And Naruto's like, are you sure? Are you going to risk it? And Zabuza's like, no, actually nah, and jumps back, and Naruto's Rasengan was still in his hand, and he's like, finally mastered it. And Kakashi's like, when did you learn the Rasengan as well, Naruto? And Naruto's like, I'll explain later, and I'll finish him off. And then Zabuza was really tired at this point, and he's like, god damn it, I'm gonna lose at this point. And then out of nowhere he gets hit by 3 needles on his neck, and Kakashi checked, and he seemed dead, but he wasn't. And yeah, so of course Naruto did say to Kakashi, anyway, Kakashi sensei, you seem tired as well. And Kakashi's like, yeah, I used the Sharingan way too much, and covers it. And then Naruto's like, wait, let me make some clones. And the clones actually help Kakashi. And yeah, so Tazuna takes him to his place, and just saying, Naruto already knows, well, Sasuke and Naruto already know water walking and tree walking by now because of the chakra control training. Even Sasuke has been doing it for a while because Suki actually gave him a copy of the scrolls, and so he knows a lot of the techniques as well. And just saying, Naruto is actually able to well, he's actually able to do the Rasengan by now, so he doesn't really need to train as hard, but he still goes off and trains in doing his flying Raijin, because he was actually a lot more drained than usual, or maybe it's because of the Rasengan. It's the first time him actually using it in a battle. So Naruto goes and trains, and he's out of chakra, and he's actually trying to recover his chakra by meditating, but then he gets distracted by Haku, and Naruto sees Haku. And of course they have their little conversations, and Naruto becomes friends with Haku. And that's where I'm going to end off. I know I said I will do the whole thing, but really I wanted to do a movie, but I realized that I've already recorded for an hour, and it's pretty long, and I'm not going to get to the part where Naruto gets betrayed by at least another 2 hours. And I know it's meant to be a movie, but it is what it is. I hope you can all forgive me for this, but anyways, Naruto will get betrayed soon. It's actually at the end of the part 1, but it'll be really interesting at the end of part 1. 1 second. Anyways, I hope you can all forgive me, but I mean, at least I uploaded again an hour video as well. Like, you guys love these, and they actually do banging on the channel, you know. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Please stay safe. This was the King of Weebs here. Also, please subscribe to Retreat and Miniman123. Links in the description below. Join my Discord server and follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you guys would like to. All links in the description below. And peace, my Weeb Nightlings.